I remember when you were playable. George. I miss the good old times. War Mother's Control, those were the glory days.
Is it the mustache? Who knows?
What's up, YouTube? It's finally time for another Teemo deck, but this time it's a really competitive one. Now, Teemo Swain has been around for a few weeks. Most of you will probably have seen it already, but it's really the time for this deck to shine because the ladder is so dominated by decks like Poppy Z, and the control tools of this region combination that just provide perfect answers for that matchup. Cards like Ravenous Flock, Buster Shot, Death Sand, Scorched Earth, Stuns, and so on. At the same time, we have a pretty darn good Plunder matchup. We can often ping plus flock a champion or Scorched Earth it, or at some point we will have a Swain Leviathan stunlock combo and render Gangplanks and Sejuani's useless. So this deck performed super well for me in the Masters ladder. Went on a quick, I think 8-0 heater with it, undefeated, undisputed, gained like 150-200 LP in like an hour and a half, and I currently very much enjoy this version that is quite heavily tagged against those aggro and mid-range matchups, and did cut down a bit on top-end value like Pathways or Captain Farron. So I'll take you through the list first, and this time we'll start off with all of the removal spells because they're the bread and butter of this deck. Ravenous Flock, insane in the current meta. We set up Ravenous Flocks with either Pokey Sticks, Death's Hands, or Lecturing Yordle Poison Darts to ping units, damage them. Arachnoid Sentry stuns, of course, also a possibility. Buster Shot can also sometimes be used, but most often, or rather more often than not, will already remove a unit on its own. Buster Shot itself looks a bit awkward at this list at first sight, but if we keep in mind how easily House Spider counts as 2 regions played, as well as cards like Teemo or Loping Telescope, we quickly realize that this conditionality is very easy to fulfill. Apart from that, for removal, I tagged in one of Minimorph because I did run into some control decks and some mirrors. It's definitely not bad. Poison Darts were also always a tag option for removal. Now, let's look at the units. We play a lot of 2-drops, and they're very key for this deck. House Spider, a great defensive tool, incredible against Poppy Z as blockers, can also be used offensively, and the interesting thing is you can also use the spiders as pings to damage our opponent's units, and then try to finish them off with Ravenous Flock or Scorched Earth. Conchologist, just incredibly strong in this region combination. Lots of good finds. More Ravenous Flocks, more Scorched Earths, Noxian Guillotine. Sometimes Might is really funny if we have a leveled Swain, but there are so many options, damaging spells as well, like Death's Hand, Poison Dart, Pokey Stick. The list goes on and on and on. Loping Telescope, of course, doesn't need an introduction. We all know the EEE sounds. And the really interesting thing is how many of the other units here can be used offensively and defensively. Arachnoid Sentry, a perfect example, depending on whether we currently try to outrace our opponent and try to set up a big swing. We can stun a blocker, but often we are on the defense and just want to stun a Poppy or Z before attacking, especially when they try to rally in that specific turn. Same can be said for Lecturing Yordle. Both are great offensive and defensive tools. The Poison Darts can be used to for whatever liking, and also of course for Nexus damage. And the funny part is that Puffcaps are actually super synergistic in this deck, although they're more of a random byproduct. And that's the reason why we play Teemo. And that's the reason why we could also main deck Poison Darts. Because of course Puffcaps do count towards Swain's level up. And if Swain is already leveled, a drawn Puffcap at the start of the turn will trigger the passive stun immediately. At the same time, there's also just not a lot of healing going around in the current meta. So any type of burn will usually be permanent, and if we try to play a outgrind-ish, a slow-ish deck, the Puffcaps will eventually stack up. And the last cards to mention are Swain and Leviathan, the good old dream team combo, the commander and his fleet. As you can guess, Swain is ridiculously easy to level in this list with all of the damaging removal spells we play with the Puffcaps and so on. And Leviathan's Of course, Endless Value Tool, key card in any control matchup, or if you try to lock down a Gangplank Sejuani deck or any other mid-range deck. Also an incredible finisher. So first of all, let me mention tech choices. There are quite a few different ways you could go with this list. Of course, if you face a lot of control, you'll probably want to play more mini-morphs. You can consider Aloof Travelers. You can tag in a Captain Farron. You'll want a third Hidden Pathways to not really run out of steam. And you cut down a bit on stuff like House Spiders, early game stuff. On the other hand, if you want to tag even more for the aggro matchups, Poison Dart's definitely a good choice. You can consider a third Buster Shot. Probably cut down a bit on like pathways, Minimorph, Scorched Earth. But this list right now felt really good in the current meta, somewhat well balanced and definitely leaning towards rather having good matchups into the fast decks while still having game against control decks. And one final piece of advice I want to leave with you guys is that it's incredibly important with this deck to switch often between being the reactive or the proactive deck. So knowing when you're on the defensive foot and need to worry about removal, but at the same time always keeping an eye open on when you can swing that game, when you can set up a big attack by using that cheap removal into a bunch of Swain stunts or Arachnoid Sentry stunts and then just get a huge Nexus hit in and maybe follow up with Leviathan or Puffcaps for the lethal. So not the easiest deck to play, but definitely a very, very fun and rewarding one and well positioned in the meta. And if you need some help, if you need some inspiration on how to play this deck, here are a bunch of gameplay examples for you. Alright, immediate rematch. I think keeping Levy is too greedy.
I've whipped up something special.
Yeah, plays into Make It Rain, but that sand seems like a bit of a waste.
You got legs. Use them.
Okay, not too bad. Is this worth a Ravenous Flock? Probably. I dislike that I currently don't have a way of dealing with champions, but I still play 2 Flocks, 2 Scorched Earth. Conchologist can find more stuff. Should be fine. If I pass, I end round.
Nice selection speaks for itself.
Next thing I know, I'm up to my britches in purple berries.
Pass looks really good. Is it better than open attacking? Probably.
Safety will cost you. And wouldn't you know it, I picked the wrong mushrooms.
Lecturing Yordle is such a good card. Still can't believe how many people said this would be unplayable when it first got leaked. Oh, that's good hits from my opponent though. Dart is better than Teemo. So my opponent has 2 discounted cards from my side. One discounted card. Probably no Sejuani, otherwise they would have let that go through, right?
Keep up, keep up.
We're just playing the Shutdown Plunder trigger game for now. There's a chance my opponent gets the champs leveled by turn 8 though. Probably Make It Rain. Okay, no more cards from my side at least.
Lesson's over.
Okay, now it gets interesting. I want to play Levy next turn, so I might as well set up a big attack this turn, right? Looking for Swain makes sense, or looking for a spell right away. Pass is good. I think I like pass more than Swain. If I play Swain now, my opponent can threaten to swarm the board. Okay, now Teemo is nice. Swain gets the hit through but isn't leveled. That's also an option. Opponent plays a chap next round, I can stun. Kinda like it. That's unfortunate.
I never miss.
Okay, they tapped under Harpoon, now I can swing.
Say your farewells.
So Sejuani is gonna get stunned up.
Bow to no one. Through the coral.
I think I like keeping Swain healthy. Opponent does get a Harpoon. They can go Conchologist now, next turn Leviathan Teemo. Tons of blockers.
I will break them.
The winter's claw endures.
Could skip Conchologist, that leaves more options open. One card left in hand. I think I like playing the dude. Might is pretty spicy. I can't not take it for the content. So we're only scared if the last card is a Harpoon, and I think Harpoon would have been played here. And of course top deck Harpoon. Warning shot, that's fine. Gangplank and Dreadway are a bit scary, but not too much. Actually, Dreadway isn't. It's just Gangplank into an open it. Oh well, Gangplank gets stunned, doesn't matter. If he gets developed next round, we have Death Stand. I'll be honest, Death Stand might have been the better pick from Conchologist just for that purpose, but I couldn't resist the might.
Nice to meet you. I'm Isla.
If I play this and this is a Gangplank, I'm doomed. Gotta keep that sand mana open for now.
Finger on the trigger. I've got this. For the strike.
Persistence is key. You dare oppose the Noxus?
Wait, does our opponent still have a Yoinked card? I think so. Well, this open attack's gonna be gangster.
There is no excess when victory is at stake.
Nah, I finish it with style. I'm almost hoping my opponent has a Sejuani trigger here. Oh man, this is gorgeous. Good old Captain Swain. It's been a while since we saw the stunlock. GG's.
We have done what is needed.
A Giga's playing field of Minah. Lovely. Maybe he's gonna write a guide about it. A mini morph in the opener. That's nice. We're also looking for stuff that that can take out the ramp thingy things. Paces of the old ones. Well, Concologist usually would be a good keep. I don't think we need to keep it here. We have 9 2-drops, right? Okay, that's one way to take it out. I just tagged the mini morph in this. I think it's gonna be pretty useful here. What's the Trapper version? Pretty Majin base. Okay, not the best opener. I want the Concologist back. Feed me the Yeti. So if this is margin based version, I'll know that list card for card.
You can see the Demacian border from here.
Should be worth darting. Yeah.
Lightness signal fires.
Thank goodness we dodged the Yeti there. So the next draw is guaranteed to be a Yeti. Don't think we trade these in. I don't know, the dart might have been a misplay. Maybe I should have traded them in. This right now is my only really good Trundle and Sejuani removal. Okay. So I can open attack, I'm probably attacking a Ravine. Don't have Scorched Earth. Like, our opponent's guaranteed to hold a Yeti. I swear we at least get another dart. Can get rid of the Yeti right away. Well, I don't really have plays. If I had development plays, I wouldn't take the pass, but here it seems about fine. Can take that hit. It's probably worth Sentry flocking, to be honest. Rather Death Sand flocking. We have Death Sand flock Swain mana. In that case, Sejuani is annoying, but... gotta start getting proactive here. Sejuani comes down, that at least means Swain survives and we get the Levy. And ideally I'd keep these two for the Field the Rush. Like, we're not in a bad position here. The question is just how much top end does our opponent have? How many champions, how many Field the Rushes, how many scattered pots?
This'll take the chill off.
Okay.
Born a patrician, I became a soldier.
I don't mind tanking the Yeti hit. Okay, well now the Yordle definitely has to swing in. Because we need to level Swain so that the Field the Rush units get stunned. The only issue is if my opponent has... actually, Field the Rush and then Minah next turn would be devastating. Yeah, I can't really stop Minah. I'm just not realizing.
Prepare the cargo! There is no excess when victory is at stake.
Where do I send the dart?
They should thank you for the
Face, I suppose.
victory awaits. I will break this.
Okay, please no Minah. This definitely feels like a Minah. And we don't automatically lose to just one Minah though, to be fair. If we can take the hit, replay Leviathan on our turn, we have Swain Sentry type of things. And maybe get a hit in. Actually no, of course. At least we prevent our opponent's next attack again. Scattered pot. Wait, second Leviathan and we should be winning this. Fury of the North is mildly scary, but not really.
Order, sir. Bring forth our army.
My opponent can take out one Leviathan with a Fury. In that case, we're still getting a good attack in. We're not killing our opponent, but we're getting a good attack in. My opponent plays 2 Three Sisters and still has one Sejuani's Fury of the North. That opens up a Ravenous Flock. That's interesting. My opponent shouldn't have removal for this.
After the battle,
Only think of Ravine. Maybe a random main deck Ice Shard. I feel like this should just close out the game. Oh, feels good. Out-controlled the anti-control deck. G to the G. We're on a heater with this deck, undefeated so far.
Remember this day.
Mirror match. Okay, the one mini-morph tech should be pretty cute in this. So it's mostly about being greedy. Yordle should generally be very good. Swain on 5. I think I like this kind of keep. I'm not sure about Swain. Then again, the only Fearsome blockers are Yordles and Swains. Sentries? Maybe it's more like this. Nah, let's greed it. I could mulligan more aggressively for Teemo and for my opponent's Teemo removal. Okay, so the only question is that the Poison Dart version?
Discoveries await below.
Either way, I'm willing to risk it. Aloof is nuts. Moonsilver is really good as well, but Moonsilver would be good if we already had like 2 Leviathans in hand. Okay, Poison Dart version. So probably no Buster Shot. It's one less dart for Teemo. Alright, let's hope we get this hit through. Our decks draw a reasonable amount, so getting the Puffcaps in early is really, really nice. We play Pathways, we play Leviathan, we play Pokey Sticks. Let's go. No Yordle is really nice. I mean, I can wait with Aloof.
Next thing I know, I'm up to my britches in purple berries.
Pass gets met by end round. No, not the mini-morph.
Stuff did it.
Open attack's fine, developing Swain is fine. Both gets punished by Stun Spider. Sorry, of course, developing Swain gets punished by Stun Spider, not both. I think I prefer the open attack. Get value out of the dart. Yeah, we got the Puffcaps rolling. Back to the roots, basically. Opponent might be tempted to develop Swain here, but I have a good blocker. Let's go. Oh, okay, now it's starting to be bullying. Oh, Jesus. God gamer. So I can go Yordle into Swain into open attack. Miss the dart. We just aloof now. I like going for high pressure, I think. You can still play the aloof on turn 7. It's also going to be highest likelihood my opponent actually holds the Leviathan.
Time to reveal our superior battle tactics.
It's annoying. Stun Conchologist looks good. Interesting. Whirling Death or Guile? Probably Guile. Whirling Death is nice for Leviathan blockers later on, but I think Guile should just be better. I could set up a nasty attack this turn. I think I'll go for it. Aloof, Sentry, Guile. Could also full swing, it's a decent one. Like open attack, full swing. But it's fairly easy for my opponent to take care of.
Welcome to Vandal Scout Camp, recruits.
This place smells like mushrooms.
Captain the mulligan, most likely. Yeah, I can't let the game drag on much longer.
Through conquest.
So we want Swain to take the block. Or we stun both of these. The thing is, my opponent is kind of committed to playing a Death Sand on Teemo. If I stun both of these, we still push a lot of damage through.
Merely pawns in a greater game.
Alright, should be in a good spot. Pushing 10 damage. Just need to wait for a couple of Puffcap draws. And then that Sand does the rest. There we go.
I see an opening.
Persistence is key.
Block from my opponent, of course, level Swain. Ooh, that works as well.
Time to flip the board.
Should be the best Death Sand target. It's nice.
They should thank you. Victory awaits.
Alright, heart of the Puffcaps, let's go. This can be scary. If our opponent has another Death Sand, Swain gets a hit through.
Prepared for anything. Cut, 2, 3, 4.
You shall not pass. That's for sure.
Striking their flank. Vandal Scouts are never afraid.
I mean, I'm all in on the next attack, and I want to open attack, so I won't threaten any units. Like, this just sacrifices my own aloof for a Pokey Stick or to a Pokey Stick or a Ravenous Flock. The block makes sense because we still take a blocker off of the board. But just blocking this to save Nexus HP does not follow our game plan right now. Our game plan is a full send. Our opponent should have waited with this, played it in their turn. Because now if I had another Teemo, I would have the chance to replay him. Full send, hope for the best.
Repositioning.
Good thing is, even if our opponent removes both, they can't get close to threatening to kill us this turn. GG. Finished by Puffcaps after all. Sticking true to our roots. GG's. Still undefeated. We're just climbing with this.